So around July, I made a video about the financial goals that I had to finish up the year, and I think that right now would be a really good time to revisit them and see where I stood on actually finishing them up or not really meeting the completion of them. What's up guys, my name is Mateo Hall. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already because I bring out new content every single Tuesday and Friday, and speaking of bringing out content, that's going to bring us right into our first goal that I had, which I would be able to get 1,000 subscribers by the end of the year. Yeah, it was to have 1,000 subscribers on YouTube by the end of the year, which was, looking back on it, very, very ambitious. At the time of recording, I currently have 175 subscribers. Hopefully we'll bump that number up just a little bit by the time I upload this video. But we are nowhere near that 1,000 subscriber mark, and I think the main reason of this is being that I, for the longest time, was not on a consistent upload schedule, and that's completely my fault, and there's no reason that I shouldn't have been uploading because there was nothing else that I was doing. I had plenty of time to communicate with you guys, but I chose not to. Now that we're on the schedule of uploading twice every single week though, we've been gaining 1 to 2 subscribers every day. This past Friday that I took off on Thanksgiving really threw a wrench in things and showed me how important it is to keep your schedule going and not to go back on it. So if you're starting up a YouTube channel, remember, set up your schedule. That is the most important thing that you could be doing, because that's when people actually start going. That's how you build up a repertoire of actual viewers, which is you guys right here. Hopefully we're on track to hit 1,000 subscribers. I'm ballparking at mid to late February. Well, I haven't really thought about the math of that too much. Look out for my New Year's resolution or 2021 goals if you want to see what my goals for YouTube are then. Honestly, I'm really grateful and happy to see what I have right now and not taking any of it for granted. So let's get right into the second goal of mine. I want to reorganize what my finances look like right now. So we have gone a very, very far way from having one checking and one savings account. I've definitely reorganized my finances. Obviously, I'm not going to go into the specifics of where and how I'm keeping all of my money, but I've definitely put it in areas that are best serving me. It's not just sitting in a measly 0.02% savings account. I think that it is really important for everyone to take a look at your finances and realize how you could be using your money more effectively. Because 99% of us are not optimizing how we could be using our finances, which sure, it might only be saving you 5 cents, $1 every single month, but it could make your life a lot more easy if you have things automated going straight through your accounts, not having to pay too much attention to them every single month. Now, speaking of moving my money around, my next goal was about the amount of money that I had invested with different brokerages that I was in. My third goal of this year is to have $12,000 in the market. $12,000 sounds like a lot of money, and I honestly didn't think I was gonna hit that number when I first started out in June, July on this channel, and it was really, really intimidating, I'll be completely honest, but right now I have about $11,000 invested in the market, and I plan to put a little bit more in there so that it will beat that $12,000 mark in these next couple of weeks. Honestly, I'm starting to scale back my investments a little bit, but we should still be able to meet that 12,000 mark even with the holidays coming up. I'll be able to make sure that it hits 12,000 and still do my due diligence. Now, I did do a video on my portfolio not that long ago. You can check the description for that, and it's not honestly that diversified if you were to look at it from that sense, because it just invested in a lot of index funds, which honestly is completely fine. I just recently bought into Tesla a little bit, kind of buying the hype. I don't know if that was a good decision. I'm kind of scared about it, but I'll let you guys know how that pans out in a future video.
Maybe I should just YOLO my entire portfolio on Tesla and make a video about that. That might be interesting.
But let's talk about actual intelligent investing ideas. I've been consistently putting money into the market so that I'm not putting it in one huge lump sum. I've actually been tapering it back a little bit lately with how aggressive the market's been going up lately. I'm waiting for something to come back down because we've had nothing but green day after green day after green day. But I'm still consistently putting in $60 every single day with a little bit more sitting in cash in all these brokerage accounts. Now, my next goal is something that I'm really torn on about how guilty I feel versus how it is just physically impossible. I want to sell a house myself by the end of this year. I didn't pass my test the first time I went through to do my real estate exam, and that just put a big hole in things, pushing it off about another month. I thought I was gonna be licensed by mid to late August, when in reality that didn't end up happening until mid to late November. Unless I get in some crazy all cash offering property, closing escrow within less than 30 days, I highly doubt that I'm gonna be able to sell my first property before the end of 2020, which means we can call it 2021, the first year that I'm actually gonna start being an agent, and we'll be able to see how my, I don't know, what do you want to call it, agenthood portfolio plays out during all of that year. We can see how much money I make versus spend from being an agent, and we can really go into details about more strategies on first-time agents and watching me build that business up and being able to help you guys, because this is a financial journey that we're going on together. I make the stupid mistakes so you don't have to. It might have been kind of foolish to think that I could have sold my first property when in reality I'm barely licensed by the end of 2020, but that's just how life happens sometimes. Now, going on to my last goal, it really wasn't about finances, but education, which I think ties into finance very, very significantly. I want to do my own research right now to look into what my possibilities are. Just a couple months ago, I was really considering how stupid of a decision it was not to end up going to university, because I had a decent amount of money set aside that I could have just went to it on mostly scholarships. Now, a couple months later, I'm ready to sell houses, and I'm actually kind of glad that I didn't. Most of my friends are struggling so bad in university right now, and I wish them the best of luck, and they really need it, because online school absolutely sucks for 99% of students out there, and I see so many people struggling. I'm lucky enough not to be in a situation like that. I think that this year has really reassured me that university was not the move for me, and doing more research into it, I don't really think that getting a business degree would have even been worth it when I can sit here, be my own boss, and find leads myself. Also considered opening my own brokerage in who knows how many years. I haven't even sold a house yet. I don't think I'm anywhere near with the field experience of knowing if I want to open a brokerage to begin with. It's a very interesting concept, but at the same time, why put more work on the table for such little reward? Now, that is subject to change. It could happen in 5-6 years, and I'm still making videos for you guys. You'll hear about the Mateo Hall brokerage opening up in Reno, Nevada, and I could get some of you guys to be my agents. But those were really a lot of my goals that I made halfway through 2020, and I didn't meet most of them, honestly. And I'll be the first to admit that. You don't always meet the goals that you make. Whenever I'm making a goal, I push forward something that I think is going to be extremely hard to do, be completely unattainable by the end of the year, but still within reason. It pushes me, it convinces me that it's possible when it's just out of reach. If I were to say that I want to invest $50,000 by the end of 2020, I know that I wouldn't even have made that much money in all of 2020, so it's completely unreasonable to think that I would have invested that much. When I say that I want to invest an additional $12,000 by the end of 2020, when I think I'm making, say, $13,000, $14,000, that becomes a lot more possible, because it pushes me to think that I can go beyond my investments, that I can live below my means, and that I can still do it. It's gonna be something that's really hard, but it's still doable. That's what I do when I start to make my goals, is I start to think, what is possible? Now let's go one step past that. What can I make possible? I'm really excited for what 2021 has to offer for us, and I'm going to be making a video relatively soon on my New Year's resolutions for 2021 / financial goals for 2021 with agent, YouTube, and personal life, and it's just a big mess of everything combined into one small focused area. So be on the lookout for that. If you haven't already, you need to subscribe to the channel so that you see that. If you want to get started investing and put in your first $12,000 just like I did, go to the links down below. There's a link to Robinhood. If you just sign up for an account with them, then you can get an entirely free stock. Or if you have $100 to spare, you can deposit that $100. It is still yours to hold on to, and make an account with Webull. They'll give you 4 free stocks just for making that account and depositing $100. You now have 4 free stocks valued from $800 to $1,600, and you keep your original $100. So worst case scenario, you have an extra $32. There'll be a couple of video links down there as well to some videos that I mentioned in this video, as well as a Discover Card affiliate link. Start building credit with Discover and get $50 just for signing up for one of their cards. This is how I plan on buying my first property before I turn 21 years old. And a little teaser for those of you that decided to watch this far, I plan on doing this video on cold calling as a real estate agent, so keep an eye out for that as well. But until next time, I will see you guys around until we continue our financial journeys.